Just because you ain't had no money, you left him?
Had to.
That ain't right. I don't like that.
If I'm making more money than him,
You should help him get some more money.
How am I gonna do that though? If I have my own career, I'm doing what I'm doing.
A woman's supposed to be a helpmate.
I feel like a man is supposed to be that for a girl.
A man's supposed to be a leader.
You right.
You're supposed to help him be a better leader.
So I was in the wrong. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy.
You looking for a daddy.
I ain't looking for a daddy. I got my own money. I got my own money. I could do what I do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need a guy for money.
But you want one.
I want a man to be stable. If I was to leave him, I want him to be...
So he wasn't stable?
He was okay, but I was making more than him.
So he was stable though?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So why are you leaving then? You said you just want...
Because he wasn't doing better than me. I need a guy doing better than me. And if he's not doing better than me, then...
I guess I feel like it would have been more real if you'd have helped him get to where you wanted him to be.
Y'all want these guys. I feel like guys want that love story. I feel like guys want us females to be with them in the trap, do what they do, and then when shit goes downhill.
No, nobody want that. You want that. You could have helped him outside of the trap. Anything.
But he could have did that himself. He could have went to school. He could have did that himself. I would have encouraged him. I'm not his mom. I'm not gonna carry him and go do this and this.
My name is Antoine Phoenix. Welcome, my friends, to my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Might be coming down with something. The Florida weather has been being unkind of being kind of chilly. Even though it does get chilly around this time of the year, but it also warms up. So I'm waiting for it to do that. Today's video is going to be, and I believe I covered this in a different way in a past video, but today's video is about, are men intimidated by successful women? The truth. And I would like to say, I don't think most men are scared of successful women, but I think we understand there's a certain thing that's going to happen if you are dealing with a woman that is as successful or more successful than you, that a lot of women do not look at, despite what they may say in the beginning of the relationship. And this is why, as a man, I think a lot of times we get like suckered into these long relationships, especially a marriage, because sometimes the woman lays it on thick in the beginning that they are different than any other woman on the face of the earth, that they are not like your ex, they are not like most women. And it usually comes out they are like most women. Now, maybe not to the length of certain things that they'll do. They may not cheat on you, they may not hit you, may not be super toxic, but a lot of things that they do say that doesn't matter to them actually does matter to them. So anyway, I have a video today by Whole Math that we're going to watch, and he nailed this perfectly. A video that I shared before didn't really hit on this like I wanted it to, but this one, I think I got it.
Why is it that the more successful I've become, the less that men seem to want to date me?
Because you are too expensive.
For those of you who are further along in your careers,
These are, of course, just euphemisms. Success in career means income and status.
I always get told that I am too intimidating.
There's another one, intimidating. I don't think I've ever looked at a woman and said, I am afraid because you are good at things. What I am afraid of is that you are going to want to do something that costs $3,000, and I don't have $3,000.
Just because I am a strong, independent woman doesn't mean that I want to be that in every single category of my life.
Are women still calling themselves that? I thought strong, independent woman had become a meme. I guess the girl who's happy with a coffee date is weak and dependent.
Because I'll tell you, I'm exhausted.
Oh my god, me too. And what I'm exhausted from is these word games. Women don't always say what they mean. They say I'm strong and independent. They say I want a man who is ambitious and has a successful career. They'll even say, I don't care if you have money, but then they want to do things that cost money. I once dated an older woman, and right away I told her I don't have any money, and she said that was not a problem. About 3 weeks later, it had become a problem. She said some unkind things about me not having my life together. She just kept ordering food. I was like, I don't have $50. This happened with another girl when I couldn't pay a parking meter. I'm not kidding when I say I've been broke. I actually had another girl ask me out, and when I said yes, she just started listing off her demands. Dinner, drinks, movie, it was like $400. Men know that most women have requirements for money. And the more success you have, the more money you require from us. It's just simple math. The farther you go in this direction, the fewer men there are that can make you happy. And some women don't care about money, that's true. But some of them say they don't, and then they do. And I'm pretty tired of that.
When I go on first dates, I try really hard to not talk too much about my job.
Talk about it more. I once went out with a girl who said on the first date that she made $90,000 a year and needed a man who made twice that. And I said, well, why did you go out with me? And she said, I wanted to see what you had going on. And I said, do you like it? And she said, I don't see a future. That hurt way less than this. She said it was okay. Instead of using these buzzwords, just tell men what you're looking for. And if you can't find it, maybe it's 'cause you priced yourself out.
Oh my gosh, whole math hit the nail on the head. This is exactly the issue that men face with women that are successful. You want to be at least as successful as her, but I believe women that are driven with that gene of climbing up the social, well, the financial ladder and to be making more and more money, they want a man that's going to be above them. And that's a funny thing. How, as a man and woman, how can we be equal when you want a man that's better than you? That is why I always believe that when women be saying that thing, that they want to be equal, I think what it is they want that respect. They don't want to be seen as a servant or less than, which that's possible. It's like the same thing with like men on like a basketball team. Yes, you have the star player, but each player has a role and each player is given a certain form of respect, unless if you are on the bench. But if you are one of the starters, usually you get a certain amount of respect, unless if you are not fulfilling your role. Another thing before I forget is that women that want small things are underrated. Men need to end. Look, I understand the women that most men give their attention to. The very attractive ones, the ones that's dialed all up, even the ones that's not dialed all up, the ones that are physical specimens. They usually do not have that simple life type of thing. Like they can just have a picnic. They'll look, if you come across a woman that you can have a blast, like the same way like with some of your guy friends. If you can have a blast with her and have a lot of fun and not really spend no money, that you can just enjoy the moment, hold on to that woman like dear life. Now that's the one thing I can say. That was not my ex-wife. But I'm not going to put that on her because it's rare for women to be like that. And that's women in general. Every woman I ever dated, you better have some money to take them out, which I like going out as well and doing things because I'm definitely like a movie person and sometimes going to events. But to be doing that every weekend, 2 days out of the week, especially the eating out. And that was the thing that started driving me nuts with my ex-wife. Yes, she would cook, but I believe a lot of times she grew bored of that and she liked to eat out. Whether it was, and not at that time when we was together, was Uber Eats, but would spend a lot of money with Uber Eats, eating out. That's where most of her money would go. When she and I was together, I was the one that maintained her, where hair getting done, nails, things like that. I mean, I was that dude to to paint her toenails or something. Only because that bothered me, and I have that foot thing right there. Like Coach Greg Adams. Shh, don't tell anybody that. And of course, though, they have to be pretty feet. But anyway, I didn't mind because I wanted her to look like the women that I would be attracted to. So I didn't mind um putting money into how she would walk out into the world. That's why I usually didn't mind when she got dressed up, because a lot of times she would look dressed up when she was with me. Now, during the later part of our stages though, she started putting less effort into that, and then when she's going out, then she's getting all dialed up. And then yeah, I guess that's when I started feeling a certain kind of way about her going out, because I'm like, you getting all dressed up, go out with your girlfriends, but you're not putting that effort in with me. And that's always the thing, like, if you're going to do that, then do it both ways. Let's be even right there. What's something else that I might have missed? A good thing that he had said. He had also said that um when a woman makes a certain amount of money, which I understand, they get a certain type of pressure that we as men do not get. And that's the thing with her girlfriends, her parents, her mom, probably her dad asking, "What does he do? What are you doing? Did you pay for that? Oh, you are you with a loser?" They start getting peppered questions like this. Now, I blame this a bit on the woman, because you should just tell people to mind their business, which I know in early parts of most of my relationships, the woman was like that. But over time, she started cracking from the pressure of people asking her what I was doing, if it was enough, oh, he should be doing more, that type of stuff right there. So I understand that pressure that women get, but that men don't really get that type of pressure right there. I mean, we don't even get pressure like, "Hey, what, she don't cook for you? What, was she not a real woman?" They may say that online, but you don't have dudes or other women telling you that. Now, a woman that may like a dude might ask a woman what she does for you, but otherwise, we don't get that peppering of questions, but women will get that peppering of questions of what the dude is bringing into her life. And pretty much like he said with a woman saying, because I know my ex-wife said this, and even my last year's relationship has said this, and other women, I mean, I have come across women that were honest enough to say that money was this important to them, and we just either became friends or we just kind of went our separate ways. But there'll be women that will die on that hill and say that, "Oh, money's not that important to me," and I understand. They don't want to appear to be a bad person. But a woman just being in your life is causing you money. And when women say this and then complain later, I think that's really disingenuous. That's similar like a man that will say, he'll get with a woman that's overweight and say like, oh, that doesn't matter. And then once they've been together for maybe a year or two, maybe a couple months, 6 months, I'm not really sure, then he'll start saying like, hey, let's go to the gym. Let's start working out. And of course, I think is right in a way because you want the person to be more healthy, but let's be honest, you want that person to lose weight. So, and that also goes with dudes that say that sex isn't that important in the relationship. But then he'll be like begging for it or making a big issue later. This is why I'm definitely on that thing now of, because I know sometimes I did it on certain things, not on that type of stuff, but saying something doesn't bother me, but it really does. When you feel a certain kind of way or you think a certain way about something, be honest to the person and tell them, because you are wasting your time and their time of lying to them and lying to yourself. So I really wish that women would stop doing that because, and actually I'm forgetting something. Well, no, but the women that told me that became a big issue later with the money stuff. So, and I know I'm forgetting something, but anyway, he covered everything. And I just would wish that everybody would be more honest and stop wasting each other's time. And this is why men will, well, we don't really care about how much a woman makes anyway, but we understand if she makes large sums of money, then it puts extra pressure on us. And some people will say like, well, man up or raise your level. Well, sometimes it's not that easy. And sometimes you have hit your peak or ceiling, whereas she could be like still climbing. Example that I don't want to miss right now is Taylor Swift. And is his name Jason Kelsey? Okay, she has more money than him. Now, I'm not sure if they do get married, which I'm not sure, because right now they are just dating. But if they do get married, this might be an issue later, because even though he is a millionaire, and I think that's more on his part, just in case he gets married and gets a kid or something, he don't have to worry about getting destroyed with child support. But then again, though, I don't know. I think of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Kanye West still has to pay a high amount of child support. But and even though people are raving like, oh, wow, but I bet once they have a kid or they get married or something, the women will be like, oh, especially when he retired from football. Okay, which I don't know how old he is, or he stopped playing football. His money may not match hers, and people are going to be talking, and she might crack under the pressure of saying, I need a man that's more on my level. I mean, hey, maybe she won't, but a lot of women will. So that's it. Give me a like, a subscribe, comment below. God bless and have a good day.
You're broke when I meet you, you don't stand a chance. Because
What's broke to you? What is defined broke?
you make less than double what I make.
Less than double.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a shit ton,
Okay.
but you should be making double what I make. That being said, it's because I've held broke men down. I've been played by broke men.
Okay.
And personally, it doesn't pay off. So I won't do it again. And it is what it is. It's not hard to find someone who makes twice what I make. I personally attract people who make like a whole spectrum. That being said, if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is. And I reserve the right to do that. And also, if you want to cheat at your own risk, I'm apt to ghost you. And it is what it is, because men who make more money than me, they treat me with that same power dynamic.
We do not live by your rules, dirty word. kind of truth.